Hey everyone, Metagross Freak here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight Deluxe Class Crosshairs. Now, Crosshairs is, well, he's technically a remold and repaint of his Age of Extinction mold. However, he does have some upgrades. The previous issues with his Age of Extinction figure, with his basically his vehicle shell, which is kind of his cape, not folding up properly, have been fixed. The issues with his trench coat sides not tabbing in correctly have also been fixed, and he does have some minor paint app changes. I don't have the Age of Extinction figure to compare, but this is a serious upgrade from his Age of Extinction figure. And he is a rogue sharpshooter. Crosshairs has kind of the personality of being loyal to Optimus, but only because being loyal to Optimus is a better option than being loyal to Megatron. So he's kind of an interesting character just because he, loyalty-wise, is at odds with the other Autobots, but when push comes to shove, he is a loyal friend who will help his comrades. He turns into a green and black Corvette, which is actually a slightly different mold than the previous Age of Extinction figure, but it has better paint apps this time around. So let's get the box open and check him out. Also, I just love that full body artwork there. Let me turn up my light a little bit so you can see. I just like that full body artwork right there. That's pretty cool looking. I like that pose. So here's how Crosshairs comes out of the package, and you can probably tell based on comparing him to the picture on the box that he is a little mistransformed. For one, he has two heel spurs, which flip out fairly easily. Like so, and that greatly increases his ability to balance. Without these heel spurs, he's pretty top heavy due to his toe articulation. Not only that, but these two panels with the wheels should fold back. That gives him a lot more arm articulation. Not only that, but his arms looks like they're on actually a double ball joint. I'm not sorry, a double elbow joint. That's pretty cool. But these panels on the inside of his trench coat should flip out. Let me see if I can get that out there. And that gives him a little bit more of that trench coaty look. What else am I missing? Flipping around to the back, he's got these panels which should fold up. I haven't done it before, like I'm literally doing it for the first time on screen right now, but I'm folding his back panel back. He has the equivalent of a soft ratchet, so you can in fact bend his arms like a burrito, like that, because he has the double elbow joint. The joints on the arms here are a bit tight. You're probably more likely to bend the regular elbow, the standard elbow, but it's pretty cool. I'll have to experiment around with that in a little bit, because that's kind of neat that I haven't seen a robot mode like that before. Accessory-wise, he comes with, like I mentioned before, his two, I'm just going to call them SMGs, which are pretty cool. And of course, they can store, and they peg into his hands, like so, but they can also tab in to a slot on the inside of his trench coat. On the inside of the trench coat, there are little tabs. There's mine. It's right here. There. So I'm having trouble getting mine to peg in, but trust me, it is supposed to plug in. I am sure that this is not exactly what his full robot mode is supposed to look like. I'm sure I probably did these back panels wrong. Transforming this into a Corvette was a little difficult because the instructions don't really help you out too much. It mostly just tells you which position to put things in. He is a little bit of a shell former, but he folds up very compactly. But he folds up into a very nice green and black Corvette. The front windshield is kind of a smoky brown. It looks very nice, and look at that detailing on the sides. Love that. The wheels are super nice. Those are painted out. The guns do store on the underside. The instructions show the barrels pointing towards the chest with the shows the barrels pointing towards the chest. I think you're supposed to use these little these little tiny semi-tabs on the bottom of the magazine to tab them into the forearm like that. That is a very unorthodox method of storing weapons, but I kind of like it. I've never seen a weapon do that before. I mean, like, even a character like Drift has them tab, like, literally tab in to his thighs. But there we go. That folds up really flush. You know, it rolls really nicely. I'm using it over here on my my mouse pad, but that rolls very smoothly. I like that because this is just a very nice vehicle, and I realized I didn't show off the articulation and everything beforehand. That was because I actually wanted to kind of better understand how this figure works. He has a lot of small panels that kind of interlock, similar to the strong arm and Drift figures I looked at before from Robots in Disguise. And as such, he has a lot of little panels that have to be tweaked and adjusted to get him into different modes and different poses. But like I've mentioned Drift and Strong Arm a couple times, so here they are together. Obviously, I have the Robots in Disguise Drift and not the Last Night Drift. I thought about getting the Last Night Drift. I was able to find one, but I personally just like the Robots in Disguise version better. And as you can see, they scale pretty well since they're all Deluxe / Warrior class. You know, Strong Arm has a little bit more size on her, but that's, I mean, because she's a literal shell former, as opposed to just having some shell panels, which means he actually scales a bit better with Drift. You can see they're roughly equivalent in size. In fact, they have a very similar transformation. It's just that Drift is upside down. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, they have actually, as you can see, very similar layouts for their car modes. Yeah, I think this is a phenomenal figure. I kind of bought it as an impulse, but I'm really glad I did because I'm very happy with it. So I'm gonna transform it back into robot mode and see if I can try to figure out some better ways to pose it. Cool. So I'm back in robot mode, and yeah, I mean, I gotta say this is a very nice robot, though he can be a little. He brings a different aesthetic to your shelf than other robots will. You know, characters like Grimlock and Optimus definitely have a lot more of an imposing presence. He brings more style, so he does have a lot of posability in those shoulders, but you're noticing that I'm having issues with panels folding up. You can fold them down like so. That exposes his shoulders more, but it does give you a little more posability. Like he can, if you want, point his guns directly up, which is kind of nice. So you'll have to figure out what works for you, because there's, as you can see, there's a little. It's also all green, so it might be hard to see. But there's basically, it's kind of a zigzag prop that the two hinges are on, but it does give him a wide variety of poses. Like I mentioned before, he does have the upper arm swivel, as always, and he has two elbow joints, though the lower elbow joint, where these silver joint, gear, sprocket, whatever things are, is a little tight on both arms. So you'll have to deal with that when posing your figure. The feet are interesting though, because of the way the feet transform. They are designed to fold like that, so you may have issues with him falling forward. As a result, you kind of need to lean back on this heel spur, which, as you can see, is for the most part just a fairly thin strip of plastic that flips out. But I guess depending on your pose, you may or may not have an issue with that. The panels here on the trench coat do fold in a little bit. I had to turn around. Do fold out to help. It helps bulk up the figure. It helps give him some more form. If you want, you can of course fold those in. That's up to you. Or if you want, you can just have them out all the way to kind of fold in like that. You know, it's your character. You pose him how you want. The back wheels are on panels that do fold back all the way. So that is pretty nice that it kind of all connects together. It doesn't tab in or clip in or anything, but it does connect in fairly well. Head is on a ball joint, though because of the head sculpt and the, I guess you could call it, upper torso neck, it is a little limited. Unfortunately, that's mostly just because of that neck. The neck pieces up here. His head sculpt is really nice, though it's hard to tell some of those details because it's all silver. But he does have some very nice cheeks, mouth, nose, chin detail, and very nice light blue eyes. The only thing I don't like is that for some reason they didn't paint his goggles this time around. Last time around his goggles were, I believe, either painted silver or black. Yeah, overall not a bad figure at all. I'm happy with this. To compare him, here he is next to Warrior Class Blast Wave. And they can, they are about the same height. They look very good together. They may not know they're very different art styles, but they look pretty good. Warrior Class Soundwave, and again they have a very good look together, being about the same height, having a similar kind of build. And then finally, here he is with his other dual gun wielding green Autobot counterpart, Hound, in his Voyager mode. You can see Hound he goes up to kind of the about here on Hound, so Hound's about a head and a half, maybe taller. And they look well. They look good together. Thank you all for watching. I've been Metagross Freak, and until next time, keep it real. I mean, this may be one of the last Transformers reviews I do until Power of the Primes comes out. There is a number of Power of the Primes figures I'm looking to getting, notably all 5 of the Prime Masters, Voyager Grimlock, and I'll probably get the leader class Rodimus. Unless I'm able to find the deluxe class Squeaks, this will probably be one of the last figures I review until Power of the Primes comes out. So yeah, enjoy it while you can. Until next time, I've been Metagross Freak, and have a great one. Bye!